Why does it feel like life keeps hitting you where it hurts the most? Like there's one area of your life that's always an uphill battle, no matter how hard you try. It's like the universe has you on this never ending test, making you prove yourself over and over again. That's not bad luck. That's Saturn at work. Saturn is the ultimate life coach, the one that doesn't hand out trophies for participation. It pushes you, challenges you, and forces you to grow, no matter if you like it or not. It's the planet of discipline, responsibility, and hard earned success. And wherever Saturn is in your birth chart is where you'll face your toughest lessons, the biggest roadblocks, and the deepest frustration. It's the part of your life where nothing comes easy, where no shortcuts exist, where you're forced to do the work over and over again until you finally get it right. But the good news is those same struggles are the exact blueprint to your greatest success. Because once you understand what Saturn is teaching you, everything shifts. You stop feeling stuck, you stop repeating the same painful cycles, and most importantly, you start to use Saturn's energy to build something truly unshakable, whether it's in your career, relationships, finances, or self worth. In this video, I'm breaking down Saturn in every house, what it means, why you feel tested, and how to work with it instead of against it. Because once you master Saturn's lessons, you don't just survive, you thrive. So let's get into it.
Saturn in the first house is a powerful yet challenging placement because it shapes the very core of who you are. The first house represents your identity, self image, confidence, and how you show up in the world. With Saturn here, you may feel like you've had to fight harder than most people to define yourself, believe in yourself, and feel a sense of worthiness. Many with this placement experience hardships early in life that make them feel like they must grow up fast. You may have felt the weight of responsibility from a young age, whether from family expectations, harsh criticism, or feeling like you had to prove yourself to be taken seriously. Some common struggles with Saturn in the first house includes feeling overly self-critical and never good enough, struggling with low self-confidence or feeling like you must earn your worth, being hard on yourself, feeling like you can't make mistakes or show vulnerability, taking on too much responsibility too soon. You may feel like you've always had to act mature or take care of others, or feeling restricted in self-expression, as if people judge you too harshly or that you don't have the freedom to fully be yourself. Saturn in the first house can feel like carrying an invisible weight on your shoulders. But the good news is, this placement isn't here to break you. It's here to shape you into a leader, a powerhouse, and someone who commands respect, not because you demand it, but because you embody it. While Saturn in the first house can feel isolating, it's actually one of the strongest placements for personal mastery. You are learning to become someone who is unshakable in their sense of self. Once you truly own your worth, nothing can break you. You're learning to become someone who is respected for their wisdom and maturity. You naturally exude authority and credibility, as well as a master of self-discipline and resilience. When life throws obstacles at you, you don't crumble. You adapt, learn, and overcome. As well as becoming someone who's authentic and deeply aligned with their purpose. Saturn forces you to strip away illusions and step into the most real, empowered version of yourself. This placement gives you the ability to build a legacy, but first, you must overcome the fear of stepping into your own power. Saturn isn't here to limit you. It's here to challenge you to claim your rightful place. Now, to work with Saturn in the first house and not against it, the first step is to release self-doubt and own your identity. Saturn can make you question yourself constantly, but you don't need anyone's permission to be who you are. Stop waiting for external validation. Your power comes from within. Start affirming to yourself, I am worthy as I am. I don't have to prove anything to anyone. Next is to stop being so hard on yourself. You expect more from yourself than you do from others, but perfection is an illusion. You are allowed to make mistakes, to grow, and to evolve. Instead of seeing setbacks as failures, see them as training grounds for your future success. Next is to step into leadership, even when it feels uncomfortable. Saturn in the first house is preparing you to lead, but you may resist stepping into the spotlight. Start embracing your inner authority. People are naturally drawn to your wisdom and guidance. Say yes to opportunities that push you outside your comfort zone, even if they scare you. Next is to create structure in your life. Saturn loves discipline, routine, and consistency. When you create structure, you thrive. Set clear goals for yourself, whether it's in career, health, or personal growth. The more you commit to long-term success, the more Saturn rewards you. Next is to develop a strong sense of self-worth. The biggest lesson Saturn teaches here is that your worth is not determined by others. Practice self-acceptance. You don't need to fit anyone's expectations but your own. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about trusting yourself no matter what. A great affirmation for having Saturn in the first house is, I release self-doubt and fully embrace who I am. My worth is not determined by others. I define it for myself. I am strong, capable, and worthy of success. Saturn in the first house is not a limitation. It's a call to step into your true power. Yes, the road may feel lonely at times. Yes, you may have had to work harder than others to build confidence. But in the end, this placement gives you a presence that commands respect, wisdom that only comes through experience, and a strength that no one can shake. You are meant to be a leader. You are meant to trust yourself fully. You are meant to build something lasting and unshakable. Your Saturn placement isn't here to hold you back. It's here to make sure that you rise into your full potential. The only thing standing in your way is self-doubt. The moment you let that go, you become unstoppable. If this resonated, definitely let me know in the comments. And of course, be sure to like, share this with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are all designed to guide you in dramatically elevating your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the second house brings some of the deepest lessons around self-worth, money, and security. The second house governs your personal values, finances, possessions, and the way you build stability in the world. With Saturn here, you may feel like nothing comes easy when it comes to money, confidence, or creating lasting security. This placement often comes with early life struggles around financial stability or self-worth. Maybe you grew up feeling like money was scarce, success had to be earned through struggle, or your sense of worth was tied to material success. Saturn here can create a fear of instability, loss, or never having enough, which can manifest as financial anxiety or undervaluing yourself in relationships, business, or personal goals. Some common struggles with Saturn in the second house includes feeling like you have to work twice as hard to feel financially secure, deep fears around money, lack, or never having enough, struggles with self-worth, feeling like you must constantly prove your value, holding on to scarcity mindsets that keep you playing small, feeling undeserving of luxury, abundance, or financial success. At times, Saturn here can make you feel like you'll never reach the level of success or security that you crave, but that's an illusion. Saturn isn't here to take from you. It's here to make you a master of your own abundance. This placement is about learning to build real, lasting security from the inside out. Saturn in the second house does not deny you abundance. It teaches you how to create it in a way that lasts. The challenges you face are shaping you into someone who builds wealth and security through discipline, patience, and smart decisions, knows their worth and doesn't settle for less than they deserve, develops an unstoppable work ethic that leads to long-term success, learns to attract abundance by aligning with their values and self-worth. This placement gives you the ability to create something solid, something that can't be taken away. The key to this is that you have to believe in your own worth before the universe can mirror that back to you. Saturn in the second house is not about fast money, overnight success, or surface-level confidence. It's about long-term financial and emotional security that comes from knowing exactly who you are and what you're worth. Now, to work with Saturn in the second house and not against it, the first step is to release scarcity mindsets and embrace abundance. Saturn may have made you feel like money and success are hard to come by, but this is a test. Instead of focusing on what you don't have, start shifting your mindset to believe you are worthy of abundance. Practice saying, I am capable of creating lasting wealth and security. Next is to develop strong financial discipline. Saturn rewards structure, responsibility, and long-term planning. This applies to money, career, and personal security. Start setting clear financial goals, creating savings plans, and learning about investing or wealth building. When you make smart, steady financial choices, Saturn rewards you with lasting prosperity. Next is to recognize and own your worth. This placement can create deep insecurities about whether you're good enough to have success, love, or financial stability. Your worth isn't determined by your job, your income, or what you own. It comes from within. Stop undervaluing yourself in work, relationships, and opportunities. If you constantly settle for less, Saturn will keep testing you until you demand more for yourself. Next is to build your own security so no one can take it away from you. Saturn in the second house teaches you to become self-sufficient, both emotionally and financially. Avoid relying too much on others for stability, whether it's a partner, family, or an employer. When you build your own foundation, you gain a level of freedom and power that no one can take away. And finally, invest in what truly matters to you. The second house is about values, and Saturn forces you to figure out what truly matters. Are you chasing success just for external validation, or are you building something meaningful? Align your goals with your true purpose, and Saturn will support your long-term growth. A perfect affirmation for having Saturn in your second house is, I am worthy of abundance, security, and success. I release all fears of scarcity and trust in my ability to build lasting wealth and self-worth. What I create is valuable, and I deserve to thrive. Saturn in the second house isn't here to make wealth or confidence hard. It's here to make them real. This placement isn't about chasing quick success, surface level confidence, or temporary security. It's about building something that lasts. You are meant to be financially and emotionally secure. You are meant to know your worth and never settle for less. You are meant to build wealth and success through discipline and self-belief. Your Saturn placement isn't blocking you, it's preparing you. Once you master self-worth and long-term security, Saturn rewards you with more success than you ever thought was possible. If this resonated, definitely drop a comment and let me know. And remember to like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. And if this really hit home, imagine what it would feel like to have real clarity on your patterns, your purpose, and your next steps. So be sure to check out my offerings below. I'd love to help you tap into your power. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the third house can feel like a constant battle with your own thoughts, words, and self-expression. The third house governs communication, learning, mindset, writing, speaking, and how you process and share information. With Saturn here, you may feel like your voice has been restricted or undervalued, making it difficult to trust your own thoughts and opinions. This placement often manifests as fears around speaking up, struggles with learning, or feeling like people don't take you seriously. You may have grown up in an environment where you felt ignored, dismissed, or like your opinions didn't matter. You were taught to stay quiet, not ask too many questions, or be seen and not heard. You may have struggled with school, learning, or expressing your thoughts clearly. Or you may have experienced harsh criticism that made you afraid to say the wrong thing. Because of this, Saturn in the third house can create deep insecurities around intelligence, communication, and self-expression. You might feel like you have to double-check everything before you speak, or that your words aren't as valuable as others. But here's the truth. Saturn isn't here to silence you. It's here to teach you how to refine your voice and make it powerful. Saturn in the third house is not here to make communication difficult forever. Instead, it's shaping you into someone who develops a masterful way of speaking and writing. When you talk, people listen. It's shaping you into someone who thinks deeply and critically, making you an incredible teacher, writer, or speaker, as well as someone who learns the power of discipline in thinking. Your mind is sharp, analytical, and wise, as well as someone who overcomes self-doubt and becomes a confident communicator, even if it takes time. Your struggles with communication, learning, or self-expression are actually initiations into your greatest strengths. When you push past the fear of being wrong, sounding stupid, or being unheard, you step into your power as someone who commands respect through their words. This placement isn't about speaking the most. It's about speaking with impact. Now, in order to work with Saturn in the third house instead of against it, the first step is to stop overthinking and start speaking with confidence. Saturn may make you feel like you have to triple check every word before you speak. While it's great to be thoughtful, don't let fear of saying the wrong thing keep you silent. Practice speaking up, even when it feels uncomfortable. Next is to develop your own voice and stop comparing yourself to others. With Saturn here, you might feel like other people are more articulate, intelligent, or naturally gifted at communication. The truth is, your voice matters just as much. Stop trying to sound like others. Your wisdom comes from your own unique experience. Next is to strengthen your mindset and overcome negative self-talk. Saturn can make you your own worst critic, causing negative thought loops in your mind. Start shifting your internal dialogue. Replace self-doubt with affirmations like, "My words are valuable. I express myself with confidence and clarity. I trust my voice and my wisdom." Journaling, meditation, or even therapy can help you reprogram limiting beliefs about your intelligence and communication abilities. Next is to turn your struggles into mastery. Many people with Saturn in the third house become incredible writers, speakers, or teachers because they've had to work through these challenges. If you've struggled with communication, consider taking writing courses, public speaking classes, or structured learning to refine your skills. What once felt like your weakness can become your greatest strength. And finally, be patient with learning and trust your intelligence. Saturn here may have made school, learning, or retaining information feel difficult at times. But this doesn't mean that you aren't smart. It means your learning process is structured and methodical. You may take longer to fully master a skill, but once you do, you retain that knowledge for life. Instead of rushing, lean into your ability to absorb and master information in a deep, lasting way. A great affirmation for Saturn in the third house is, "I trust my voice, my wisdom, and my ability to communicate with confidence. My words hold power, and I express myself clearly and fearlessly." Saturn in the third house is not here to silence you. It's here to refine you into a masterful communicator. You are meant to overcome self-doubt and own your voice. You are meant to share your thoughts with clarity and confidence. You are meant to develop a powerful mindset that supports your success. This placement teaches you that your words carry weight, your thoughts matter, and your mind is one of your greatest assets. The moment you stop doubting yourself and start owning your wisdom. You become unstoppable. If this resonated with you, definitely let me know in the comments. And of course, be sure to like, share this with someone who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my life-transforming offerings linked below. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching. Saturn in the fourth house is one of the most emotionally complex placements, as it brings heavy lessons around home, family, emotional security, and inner stability. The fourth house governs your roots, childhood, upbringing, and sense of belonging. And with Saturn here, these areas of life often feel restricted, challenging, or full of responsibilities. This placement frequently shows up in those who grew up in a home where love felt conditional, cold, or emotionally distant, had to take on responsibility too early, becoming the mature one in the family, struggled to feel safe, nurtured, or emotionally supported in childhood, or felt disconnected from family, or like they had to earn their place in the home. Saturn here often creates a deep emotional wall, one that was built out of necessity, but can later make it difficult to trust, connect, or fully open up. You may struggle with expressing your emotions, allowing yourself to be vulnerable, or feeling like you truly don't belong anywhere. Now, here's the good news. Saturn isn't here to make you feel unloved. It's here to teach you how to create unshakable emotional security within yourself. Saturn in the fourth house can make early life feel tough, lonely, or full of responsibility, but it is ultimately shaping you into someone who learns to build their own emotional security, one that no one can take away, develops incredible inner strength, self-discipline, and emotional resilience, becomes a strong provider, protector, and leader for themselves and others, as well as creates a stable, loving home environment, one that heals past wounds. This placement forces you to break cycles of dysfunction, learn to nurture yourself, and build a foundation that feels safe, supportive, and lasting. Saturn in the fourth house is about healing ancestral patterns, setting boundaries with toxic family dynamics, and learning that you are not your past. You are the creator of your future. Now, to begin the process of working with Saturn in the fourth house instead of against it, the very first step is to heal family and childhood wounds. Many with Saturn in the fourth house carry deep emotional wounds from childhood, whether from strict, unavailable, or emotionally distant caregivers. Your healing begins when you realize you don't have to carry those wounds forever. Inner child work and shadow work can be life-changing for releasing emotional blocks. Next is to create your own definition of home. If your early home life felt unstable, restrictive, or unsupportive, Saturn is teaching you how to build your own foundation. This might mean creating a home environment that feels peaceful and supportive, even if you have to break away from past family dynamics. Remember, family isn't just the one you were born into. It's the one you choose and create. Next is to learn to trust and open up emotionally. Saturn here can make you emotionally guarded, afraid to be vulnerable, or hesitant to fully trust others. But emotional security doesn't come from shutting people out. It comes from allowing yourself to receive love and support. Start small. Open up to people who have earned your trust and allow yourself to be seen. Next is to release the fear of being alone. Many with this placement struggle with feeling isolated or unsupported. But true emotional security comes when you realize you are whole within yourself. Learn to cultivate self-love, self-soothing, and inner peace so that even when alone, you never feel lonely. And finally, break generational patterns and build a new legacy. Saturn in the fourth house often indicates family karma or generational trauma that you are meant to heal. This means setting firm boundaries with toxic family members and refusing to repeat unhealthy cycles. You are here to rewrite the story, to create a foundation built on love, security, and emotional stability. A great affirmation for Saturn in the fourth house is, I am safe, I am secure, and I am my own foundation. My past does not define me. I create the home, love, and emotional stability I deserve. Saturn in the fourth house is not a punishment. It's a call to break free from emotional wounds and build your own unshakable foundation. You are meant to heal, grow, and create a new legacy. You are meant to build emotional security that no one can take from you. You are meant to transform past struggles into wisdom, strength, and stability. Your Saturn placement isn't here to keep you trapped in the past. It's here to show you how powerful you are in creating your own future. If this resonated with you, definitely let me know in the comments. And be sure to like, share with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are all designed to guide you in dramatically elevating your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the fifth house can feel like a block on self-expression, joy, and creativity. Like life has made it difficult for you to truly let go and enjoy yourself. The fifth house governs creativity, pleasure, romance, self-expression, and inner child energy. And with Saturn here, these areas may feel restricted, serious, or even burdensome. Many with this placement experience early childhood conditioning that stifled their ability to be playful, spontaneous, or creatively free. You may have grown up in an environment where fun was seen as a luxury, not a priority, where you felt pressure to be serious or mature too early, where creativity was discouraged or undervalued, or romantic relationships felt like work rather than something light and joyful. Because of this, Saturn in the fifth house can create deep fears around self-expression, creativity, and opening your heart. You may struggle with feeling worthy of joy, expressing yourself freely, or trusting love without conditions. But here's the good news. Saturn isn't here to take joy from you. It's here to teach you how to cultivate it in a way that is deeply meaningful, lasting, and authentic. Saturn in the fifth house is not here to deny you joy. It's here to make you a master of creating it for yourself. This placement is shaping you into someone who learns to take their creativity seriously and build something lasting from it. Someone who understands that true joy isn't fleeting. It's something cultivated through authenticity and self-trust. Someone who develops a deep, mature approach to love, romance, and self-expression, as well as someone who learns to embrace playfulness, passion, and self-expression without guilt or fear. This placement teaches you that pleasure, love, and creativity are not indulgences. They are essential to your soul's growth. The challenge is you have to give yourself permission to experience them. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in the fifth house and not against it, the first step is to heal your relationship with joy and playfulness. If you've always felt like you have to earn the right to have fun, it's time to release that belief. Saturn is teaching you that joy is not a reward, it's a necessity. Start small. Do one thing every day that feels lighthearted, fun, and purely for you. Next is to take your creativity seriously, but don't overthink it. Many with Saturn in the fifth house feel blocked when it comes to creativity, fearing they aren't good enough. The truth is, your creativity is valuable, and Saturn wants you to develop it with discipline and purpose. Instead of waiting for inspiration, create a structure for your creative work and commit to it. Next is to let go of fear around love and romantic expression. Saturn in the fifth house can make romance feel serious, karmic, or full of responsibility. You may have experienced heartbreak, rejection, or disappointments in love that made you afraid to open up again. But love isn't meant to be a constant test. It's meant to be a space of joy, trust, and connection. Start allowing yourself to be loved, express love, and receive love without fear of failure. Next is to embrace your inner child and release self-judgment. If you are discouraged from being playful as a child, you may struggle to let go and just enjoy the moment. Give yourself permission to be silly, be creative, be passionate, and express yourself fully. Healing your inner child is key to unlocking your joy, creativity, and self-confidence. And finally, understand that your joy has purpose. This placement often gives people a strong sense of responsibility, but joy, fun, and play are just as important as hard work. Saturn teaches you how to build lasting joy, not just fleeting pleasure. Learn to balance structure with spontaneity, discipline with play, and hard work with fun. A great affirmation for you having Saturn in the fifth house is, I give myself permission to express my joy, creativity, and love without fear. My self-expression is valuable, and I deserve to experience pleasure, passion, and happiness in my life. Saturn in the fifth house is not here to deny you joy. It's here to teach you how to create joy that is lasting, meaningful, and fulfilling. You are meant to express yourself boldly and authentically. You are meant to embrace creativity and build something lasting from it. You are meant to experience deep, mature, and meaningful love. This placement is here to help you heal your relationship with happiness, love, and self-expression. The moment you stop holding back and start allowing yourself to fully experience life, you unlock the happiness, confidence, and creative success you've always deserved. If this resonated, definitely let me know in the comments and be sure to like, share with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are designed to guide you in dramatically elevating your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the 6th house can feel like a never-ending pressure to be productive, responsible, and perfect. The 6th house governs work, daily routines, health, service, and self-improvement. And with Saturn here, these areas may feel like a constant test of endurance, discipline, and responsibility. Many with this placement experience early life conditioning that instilled a strong work ethic, but also an underlying fear of failure, imperfection, or being not enough. You may have grown up in an environment where hard work was expected, but appreciation or rest were rarely given. There may have been a strong emphasis on duty, responsibility, and doing the right thing over personal desires. You may have felt pressure to be the reliable one who takes care of everything and everyone. Or health challenges or struggles with burnout force you to reevaluate your approach to self-care. Because of this, Saturn in the 6th house can create deep fears around failure, inadequacy, and never feeling like you're doing enough. You may struggle with overworking, perfectionism, or feeling guilty for resting. But here's the positive news. Saturn isn't here to overwork you. It's here to teach you how to create a balanced, sustainable life that supports both your ambition and your well-being. Saturn in the 6th house is not here to make work, health, and routines feel like a burden forever. This placement is shaping you into someone who masters discipline and structure, allowing you to achieve long-term success. Someone who learns how to balance hard work with self-care and wellness. Someone who develops a strong work ethic that leads to expertise and credibility, as well as someone who understands that true productivity comes from working smarter, not harder. This placement teaches you that burnout is not a badge of honor. Real success comes when you learn how to integrate work, health, and purpose in a way that sustains you rather than drains you. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in your 6th house and not against it, the first step is to release perfectionism and stop overworking yourself. Saturn in the 6th house can make you feel like you have to be perfect or push yourself to exhaustion. The truth is, perfection is an illusion, and your worth is not measured by productivity. Start replacing thoughts like, I have to get everything done, with, I do my best, and that is enough. Next is to create sustainable routines that support your well-being. Saturn wants you to develop structure and discipline, but not at the expense of your health. Instead of cramming your schedule full of tasks, focus on consistency over intensity. Design a daily routine that includes time for both work and your self-care. Next is to prioritize health and listen to your body. Many with Saturn in the sixth house experience health challenges or stress related issues because they neglect their own needs. Saturn is asking you to take your physical, mental, and emotional well being seriously. Instead of seeing rest as unproductive, see it as an investment in your longevity and success. Next is to learn that serving others doesn't mean neglecting yourself. The sixth house is connected to service and helping others, but not at the cost of your own well being. Set boundaries around your time, energy, and workload. Helping others is noble, but not if it leaves you drained. Ask yourself, am I giving from a full cup? Or am I sacrificing my own needs? And finally, recognize that success comes from consistency, not overload. Saturn rewards steady, disciplined effort over time. Focus on small daily actions that build up over the long term rather than trying to accomplish everything at once. Remember, slow progress is still progress. A great affirmation for you having Saturn in your sixth house is, I honor my work, my health, and my well-being equally. I release perfectionism and trust that my efforts are enough. I create a life that supports both my ambition and my inner peace. Saturn in the sixth house is not here to exhaust you. It's here to teach you how to build a life that is both productive and fulfilling. You are meant to master balance, not burnout. You are meant to create discipline without self-punishment. You are meant to succeed in a way that supports both your goals and your well-being. This placement is here to help you refine your work habits, set healthy boundaries, and create a structured life that works for you, not against you. The moment you stop equating self-worth with productivity and start valuing balance, Saturn will reward you with long-term success, stability, and well-being. If this resonated, definitely let me know in the comments. And of course, be sure to like, share with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are all designed to help you dramatically elevate your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the seventh house is one of the most karmic placements when it comes to relationships. The seventh house rules commitment, partnerships, marriage, and one-on-one connections. And with Saturn here, relationships often come with serious lessons, delays, or struggles. This placement can make love feel heavy, complicated, or even like a burden at times. You may have experienced difficulties in early relationships, feeling like love is hard, unavailable, or full of obstacles. You may have experienced a fear of commitment or attracting partners who are emotionally distant. Patterns of attracting older, serious, or authoritative partners. Feeling like relationships come with extreme responsibility or pressure, as well as delays in love, meeting the one later in life after deep personal growth. At its core, Saturn in the seventh house is teaching you how to build strong, lasting, and mature relationships. While this placement can make your early love life challenging, it rewards you with deep, committed, and stable partnerships once you learn its lessons. Saturn in the seventh house is not here to deny you love. It's here to teach you how to build relationships that truly last. This placement is shaping you into someone who understands the true meaning of commitment and loyalty, someone who develops strong boundaries and emotional maturity in relationships, someone who attracts partners who are serious, stable, and aligned with long-term success, as well as someone who learns to love from a place of strength rather than fear or neediness. Many with Saturn in the seventh house experience love struggles early in life, but ultimately find deeply fulfilling partnerships later, often after doing the inner work that Saturn requires. This placement is about quality over quantity. You are meant to have a relationship that is solid, real, and built on trust and mutual respect. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in your seventh house instead of against it, the first step is to let go of fear around love and commitment. Saturn may make relationships feel intimidating, heavy, or full of responsibility. If you feared getting hurt, abandoned, or rejected, Saturn is asking you to face those fears and build trust in love. True partnership isn't about avoiding pain. It's about choosing someone who is willing to grow with you. Next is to stop settling for less than you deserve. With Saturn here, love lessons can be harsh, and many experience painful relationships that teach them their worth. Instead of accepting love that feels one-sided, distant, or unfulfilling, demand the level of respect and commitment you truly desire. Saturn rewards those who hold strong boundaries and refuse to accept less than they deserve. Next is to develop emotional maturity in relationships. Saturn here wants you to build deep, mature, and responsible love connections. This means learning to communicate, resolve conflicts, and be patient with love. The right partner for you will be someone who respects you, builds with you, and commits to real growth together. Next is to understand that timing is everything. Saturn often delays meeting the one until you've learned key lessons. Many people with this placement find their soulmate or experience their most fulfilling relationships later in life. Trust that love is coming when you are truly ready for it. And finally, recognize that love is a partnership, not a rescue. Many with Saturn in the seventh house struggle with attracting partners who feel like projects or who need saving. A relationship should add to your life, not drain you. The healthiest love is one where both people are whole, stable, and growing together. A great affirmation for you having Saturn in your seventh house is, I am worthy of deep, committed, and fulfilling relationships. I release my fears around love and trust that the right partnership will come at the right time. I attract relationships that are built on mutual respect, trust, and emotional maturity. Saturn in the seventh house is not here to make love difficult. It's here to teach you how to build a partnership that is real, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. You are meant to experience mature, committed love. You are meant to create relationships that are strong and built to last. You are meant to develop deep emotional trust and connection with the right partner. This placement is not a curse. It's a blessing in disguise. While early love lessons may be difficult, You are being prepared for the type of relationship that most people only dream of, one that is built on trust, loyalty, and a deep, lasting bond. If this resonated, drop me a comment and let me know. And of course, be sure to like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. And if this really hit home, imagine what it would feel like to have real clarity on your patterns, your purpose, and your next steps. So be sure to check out my offerings below. I'd love to help you tap into your power. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the 8th house is one of the most intense placements because it forces you to confront your deepest fears, attachments, and emotional wounds. The 8th house rules transformation, intimacy, shared resources, power, and psychological depth. And Saturn brings heavy restrictions and karmic lessons to these areas. With this placement, you may feel like life has forced you to deal with serious themes from an early age, things like loss, betrayal, abandonment, financial struggles, or emotional walls that feel impossible to break down. These experiences can leave you feeling guarded, skeptical, and reluctant to trust others. Some common struggles with Saturn in the 8th house includes feeling like you have to rely only on yourself because you don't trust others to be dependable. Fear of deep emotional intimacy. You may crave connection, but may resist fully opening up. Challenges with shared resources, debts, inheritances, or financial entanglements. A deep-seated fear of loss, betrayal, or having the rug pulled out from under you. Feeling like you must control everything to feel safe, leading to power struggles in relationships. At times, it may feel like life is testing you relentlessly in these areas, forcing you to experience cycles of loss, transformation, and rebuilding. But these challenges aren't punishments. They are your soul's way of teaching you resilience, power, and trust. Now, while this placement can feel like an uphill battle, the lessons Saturn is teaching you here are profoundly life-changing. The struggles you faced are not meant to break you. They are shaping you into a force of nature. Your soul is learning how to master emotional depth. You are meant to dive deep into the human experience, understanding emotions, psychology, and hidden truths like no one else can. You're also learning to transform pain into power. You are someone who can rise from the ashes over and over again, no matter how hard life gets. You're developing unshakable trust in yourself. You're learning that real security doesn't come from controlling everything. It comes from trusting your own strength to handle whatever comes your way. You're learning to navigate financial and emotional bonds with wisdom. Whether it's in relationships or money matters, Saturn is pushing you toward long-term stability and maturity. This placement gives you incredible depth, wisdom, and resilience. When you embrace its lessons, you can become someone who can face any storm and come out stronger, has unshakable personal power that no one can take away, knows how to rebuild, re-strategize, and rise again in both love and money, as well as you'll be able to form deep, lasting relationships based on trust and authenticity. The key to success with Saturn here is to stop fearing transformation. Instead, see it as the very thing that makes you unstoppable. Now, to work with Saturn in the eighth house and not against it, the first step is to face your fears head on. The things you fear the most, whether it's betrayal, loss, financial instability, or emotional exposure, are exactly where your biggest breakthroughs lie. Instead of avoiding these fears, confront them through deep self-work, shadow work, energy healing, or journaling about the emotions you usually suppress. Ask yourself, what would happen if I stopped fearing this and started trusting my ability to handle it? Next is to release the need for control. The more you try to control people, relationships, or financial situations, the more Saturn will challenge you. Real power isn't about managing every detail. It's about being flexible, adaptable, and confident in your ability to navigate change. Practice surrendering. Instead of trying to force a certain outcome, focus on preparing yourself to handle any outcome with strength and grace. Next is to build long-term financial security. This placement often brings lessons around money, inheritance, or shared financial responsibilities. Saturn wants you to be disciplined with finances, so avoid risky financial decisions. Create a long-term investment plan instead of seeking fast money. If you've struggled with debt, make a structured plan to pay it off and regain control. The more responsible you become with money, the more Saturn will reward you with financial stability and success over time. Next is to strengthen emotional and intimate bonds. This placement makes you hesitant to fully trust others, but deep down, you crave profound connections. Instead of shutting down emotionally, open up in small, safe ways. Build trust slowly and let people earn their place in your life. If past betrayals have made you guarded, remember, not everyone is here to hurt you. Saturn wants you to learn discernment, not isolation. And finally, embrace your power and resilience. You have an unmatched ability to transform yourself, to rebuild from the ground up, and to create a life of depth and meaning. Instead of fearing change, lean into your ability to evolve. Your strength isn't just in surviving hardships. It's in using those experiences to inspire and empower others. A great affirmation for Saturn in the eighth house is, I release my fear of loss and embrace my power to transform. I trust myself to handle life's challenges with strength and wisdom. True security comes from within, and I am unshakable. Saturn in the eighth house is your soul's initiation into personal power, resilience, and deep trust. The struggles are intense, but the rewards are greater than you can imagine. Once you stop resisting these lessons and start working with them, you become someone who masters their emotions and fears instead of being controlled by them. Builds deep, lasting relationships built on trust and authenticity. Creates financial stability and long-term success through discipline and wisdom. And rises from any setback stronger, wiser, and more powerful than before. Your Saturn placement isn't here to break you. It's here to show you just how powerful you really are. If this resonated, definitely let me know in the comments. And be sure to like, share with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are designed to guide you in dramatically elevating your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the ninth house is a powerful placement that challenges your beliefs, worldview, and ability to expand beyond limitations. The ninth house governs higher learning, travel, philosophy, spirituality, and personal growth. And with Saturn here, these areas may feel restricted, delayed, or full of heavy lessons. This placement often brings early struggles with education, faith, or belief systems, making it difficult to trust your own ability to grow and evolve. You may have experienced strict or rigid religious or philosophical upbringing, feeling confined by belief systems that didn't resonate with you. Difficulties with higher education, struggles in school, delayed academic achievements, or feeling like learning takes longer for you. Fear of stepping outside of comfort zones, hesitation around travel, new experiences, or embracing different perspectives, as well as doubt in your own wisdom, struggling to trust your inner knowledge, and feeling like you need to earn the right to be an authority in your field. At its core, Saturn in the ninth house is teaching you how to build a solid foundation of knowledge, faith, and wisdom, one that is based on experience, not just theory. You are here to master your beliefs, develop deep personal growth, and become a true teacher or guide for others. Saturn in the ninth house is not here to limit your expansion. It's here to make sure your expansion is built on something real. This placement is shaping you into someone who develops deep, unshakable wisdom through personal experience. Someone who learns to think critically and question outdated beliefs or teachings. Someone who becomes a lifelong learner, teacher, or authority in their field, as well as someone who overcomes fear of the unknown and embraces new perspectives with confidence. This placement rewards those who commit to lifelong learning, personal evolution, and the pursuit of truth. You are here to build wisdom through experience, not just by reading about it, but by living it. Now, to begin to work with having Saturn in your ninth house instead of against it, the first step is to question and redefine your beliefs. Saturn here challenges you to think critically about what you've been taught, whether it's religious beliefs, academic teachings, or societal norms. If something doesn't resonate with you, give yourself permission to seek your own truth. Ask yourself, what do I truly believe? Am I living according to my own truth or someone else's? Next is to embrace lifelong learning, even if it feels slow or challenging. This placement often brings delays in education or challenges with traditional learning. But Saturn rewards commitment to mastering a subject over time. If you struggled in school, know that your intelligence is not defined by grades. It's defined by your ability to think deeply and apply knowledge practically. Next is to overcome fear of travel and new experiences. Saturn may make you hesitant to step out of your comfort zone, but growth happens when you explore beyond what you know. Travel, exposure to different cultures, and expanding your mind will help you break free from mental limitations. Even if you can't physically travel, explore new philosophies, books, and teachings to broaden your worldview. Next is to trust your own wisdom and stop seeking external validation. With Saturn here, you may feel like you need more credentials, more experience, or more knowledge before you can be taken seriously. But true wisdom doesn't come from degrees or titles. It comes from lived experience. Start recognizing that your perspective is valuable and you don't need permission to share it. And finally, develop a personal philosophy that grounds you. Saturn asks you to build a belief system that is practical, realistic, and rooted in truth. Instead of blindly following spiritual or philosophical teachings, find what truly resonates with you and apply it to your life. The more you integrate your beliefs into your daily life, the more you become a true master of your own wisdom. A great affirmation for you having Saturn in the 9th house is, I trust my inner wisdom and embrace my journey of learning and growth. My beliefs are my own, and I expand my mind with confidence and curiosity. I step outside my comfort zone and embrace new experiences with an open heart. Saturn in the 9th house is not here to limit your expansion. It's here to make sure your growth is built on a solid foundation of wisdom and truth. You are meant to break free from outdated beliefs and create your own path. You are meant to be a lifelong learner, teacher, and guide for others. You are meant to overcome fear of the unknown and fully embrace your potential. This placement is here to help you step into your wisdom, challenge limiting beliefs, and master your understanding of the world. The moment you stop doubting yourself and start embracing your ability to think, learn, and grow, Saturn will reward you with clarity, purpose, and a life filled with meaningful expansion. If this resonated, definitely let me know in the comments, and be sure to like, share with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my life-transforming offerings linked below. I appreciate you so much, and thank you for watching. Saturn in the 10th house is a placement of greatness, but it comes with heavy responsibilities and long-term lessons. The 10th house rules career, reputation, public image, and life purpose. And with Saturn here, these areas of life often feel delayed, restricted, or full of obstacles. This placement can make success feel like a slow, uphill battle. So you may have experienced feeling immense pressure to succeed from an early age. Harsh lessons in career or public image, having to work harder than others for recognition. Authority issues, struggling with strict parents, bosses, or figures of power. Fear of failure or public embarrassment, leading to perfectionism and overworking. As well as delayed success, having to prove yourself repeatedly before seeing real career breakthroughs. At its core, Saturn in the 10th house is teaching you how to build a career, reputation, and legacy that is solid, meaningful, and built to last. While others may rise quickly and fall just as fast, Saturn gives you the patience, resilience, and discipline to achieve success that stands the test of time. Saturn in the 10th house is not here to block your success. It's here to make sure your success is real, earned, and respected. This placement is shaping you into someone who builds a career that is meaningful, respected, and long-lasting. Someone who develops unshakable resilience, patience, and discipline. Someone who learns to overcome obstacles and rise above challenges with grace, as well as someone who becomes a true authority in their field, respected for their expertise. This placement rewards those who stay committed to their goals, work hard with integrity, and refuse to give up when things get difficult. The more you lean into the lessons of Saturn, the greater the rewards will be. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in the 10th house instead of against it, the first step is to release fear of failure and trust the process. Saturn makes success feel slow, delayed, or full of setbacks. But these delays are teaching you patience, resilience, and mastery. Instead of seeing obstacles as punishments, see them as training grounds for your future greatness. Next is to develop a career built on integrity and long-term success. Saturn rewards commitment, hard work, and ethical leadership. Instead of chasing quick success, focus on building something that will last. Ask yourself, am I choosing a path that aligns with my true purpose? Next is to overcome authority issues and step into your own power. Many with this placement struggle with authority figures, either feeling controlled by them or resisting them completely. The lesson is that you are meant to become the authority. Instead of rebelling, learn from those in power and use that wisdom to become your own leader. Next is to balance work and personal life. Saturn in the 10th house can make you obsessed with career at the expense of personal happiness. Success is important, but not at the cost of your well-being. Learn to create healthy boundaries between work and personal life. True success includes both achievement and fulfillment. And finally, be patient. Your time is coming. This placement often brings delayed success, but once it arrives, it is lasting and well earned. Many with Saturn in the 10th house find major career breakthroughs later in life. Stay committed to your path and trust that all your hard work will pay off. A great affirmation having Saturn in your 10th house is, I am building a legacy of success, respect, and integrity. My path may take time, but I trust that everything I am working for will manifest in divine timing. I step into my power and embrace my role as a leader. Saturn in the 10th house is not here to deny you success. It's here to make sure your success is built on a foundation of strength, wisdom, and integrity. You are meant to rise to the top, but only when you're truly ready. You are meant to be a respected authority in your field. You are meant to build a legacy that lasts for generations. This placement is here to help you master patience, discipline, and resilience. The moment you stop fearing failure and start trusting the process, Saturn will reward you with success, recognition, and a powerful, lasting legacy. If this resonated with you, definitely let me know in the comments. And be sure to share this with those who can also benefit from this message, and subscribe for more. And if this really spoke to you, be sure to check out my offerings linked below that are all designed to guide you in dramatically elevating your life. Thanks so much for watching. Saturn in the 11th house brings deep lessons around friendships, social circles, networking, and your role in the collective. The 11th house governs community, social impact, dreams, and future goals. And with Saturn here, these areas may feel restricted, delayed, or filled with challenges. This placement often creates a feeling of isolation or difficulty fitting in, especially in early life. You may have experienced struggles making or maintaining friendships, feeling like an outsider, even in a group. A sense of responsibility or duty in friendships, often taking on the role of the mentor or leader. Delayed fulfillment of personal dreams and goals, having to work harder for long-term success. Difficulty trusting groups or communities, feeling like you always have to be self-sufficient. Or a deep desire for meaningful social impact, but uncertainty about how to achieve it. At its core, Saturn in the 11th house is teaching you how to build authentic, lasting connections and contribute to society in a way that is meaningful and aligned with your purpose. While friendships and goals may take longer to manifest, Saturn rewards patience, integrity, and dedication to something bigger than yourself. Saturn in the 11th house is not here to isolate you. It's here to refine the kind of people and goals you align with. This placement is shaping you into someone who forms deep, meaningful friendships based on loyalty and mutual respect. Someone who learns to step into leadership within groups and make a lasting impact. Someone who develops patience and perseverance in achieving long-term dreams. And someone who aligns with a community that truly reflects their values and purpose. Many people with Saturn in the 11th house feel like outsiders early in life, only to later realize they are meant to lead, guide, or create their own community. This placement is about quality over quantity. The friendships and social networks that you cultivate over time will be genuine, strong, and built to last. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in your 11th house and not against it, the first step is to let go of the need to fit in. Saturn may make you feel like you don't belong, but that's because you're meant to create your own path. Instead of seeking external validation, trust that your uniqueness will lead you to the right people. Ask yourself, am I trying to fit into spaces that don't align with my true self? Next is to cultivate friendships that are built to last. Early friendships may have felt disappointing, but Saturn is teaching you discernment. Prioritize quality over quantity. The right people will value you for who you truly are. Don't be afraid to let go of connections that feel one-sided, transactional, or draining. Next is to step into leadership and social impact. You are meant to contribute to society, but it might take time to figure out how. This placement often leads to positions of authority within organizations, groups, or movements. Whether through mentorship, activism, or leadership roles, you are here to leave a lasting impact. Next is to stay committed to your long-term goals. Saturn in the 11th house often delays the manifestation of big dreams, but they are absolutely possible. Success comes from patience, strategy, and consistent effort over time. If your goals seem far away, trust that Saturn is refining your path for something even greater. And finally, trust that the right community will find you. Loneliness can be a theme with this placement, but it is temporary. You are meant to find a tribe of like-minded, purpose-driven individuals. Keep showing up as your authentic self, and the right people will naturally be drawn to you. A great affirmation for you having Saturn in the 11th house is, I trust that I am building deep, meaningful connections with people who align with my soul. My dreams are worth the wait, and I am creating a future that is impactful and fulfilling. Saturn in the 11th house is not here to isolate you. It's here to guide you toward friendships, goals, and social impact that truly matter. You are meant to create a powerful, lasting impact in the world. You are meant to form friendships that are deep, loyal, and real. You are meant to step into leadership and guide others toward a better future. This placement is here to help you refine your vision, build meaningful relationships, and contribute to something greater than yourself. The moment you stop seeking external approval and start trusting your own path, Saturn will reward you with success, recognition, and a community that truly supports you. If this resonated, drop a comment and let me know. And, of course, be sure to like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. And if you want to dive even deeper, be sure to check out my offerings linked below. I'd love to help you tap into your power. I appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching. Saturn in the 12th house is one of the most spiritually intense placements, bringing deep lessons around healing, solitude, subconscious fears, and karmic endings. The 12th house is the realm of the unseen, spirituality, the subconscious mind, past life karma, and deep inner work. And with Saturn here, these areas may feel heavy, restrictive, or challenging to navigate. This placement often brings a sense of isolation, deep fears, and subconscious burdens that feel difficult to understand or shake off. You may have experienced feeling like an outsider or misunderstood, even from a young age. Deep-seated fears or anxieties that seem to have no clear origin. A strong connection to spirituality, but also skepticism or doubt about it. A tendency to retreat from the world, escaping through solitude or distractions, as well as recurring themes of loss, surrender, and karmic cycles that feel beyond your control. At its core, Saturn in the 12th house is teaching you how to master your inner world, release subconscious fears, and build a strong spiritual foundation. This placement isn't about suffering. It's about transcending illusions, breaking karmic cycles, and stepping into your highest level of wisdom and peace. Saturn in the 12th house is not here to keep you trapped in isolation or fear. It's here to guide you toward deep inner wisdom, healing, and spiritual mastery. This placement is shaping you into someone who develops deep inner strength and resilience through solitude and introspection. Someone who learns how to break free from subconscious patterns and karmic cycles. Someone who becomes a powerful spiritual teacher, healer, or guide for others, as well as someone who finds peace and fulfillment through self-awareness and inner work. Many people with Saturn in the 12th house experience intense spiritual awakenings once they embrace solitude, healing, and surrender. The key is to stop resisting what Saturn is trying to teach you and start leaning into your inner world as a source of strength. Now, to begin to work with Saturn in your 12th house instead of against it, the first step is to face your subconscious fears head on. Saturn here often brings fears that feel hidden or unexplainable. Instead of avoiding them, bring them into the light through therapy, journaling, or meditation. Ask yourself, what am I afraid of? And where does this fear truly come from? Next is to embrace solitude without isolation. Many with this placement feel like they need time alone to recharge, which is okay, but be mindful not to use isolation as a form of escape. Instead of withdrawing completely, find a balance between solitude and meaningful connection. Next is to develop a spiritual or healing practice. Saturn in the 12th house asks you to connect with something beyond the material world. Whether it's meditation, energy work, astrology, or therapy, commit to a practice that helps you connect with your inner self. The more you strengthen your spiritual foundation, the more Saturn will reward you with inner peace and clarity. Next is to break free from past life and karmic patterns. This placement often carries past life karma or ancestral wounds that need to be healed. Pay attention to recurring themes in your life, especially patterns of self-sabotage, fear, or avoidance. Saturn is here to help you clear these cycles once and for all, but only if you face them consciously. And finally, surrender and trust the process. The 12th house is the house of letting go, surrender, and faith. With Saturn here, you may feel the need to control everything, but true power comes from trusting the flow of life. The moment you stop resisting and start allowing things to unfold, Saturn will reward you with deep wisdom and peace. A great affirmation for Saturn in your 12th house is, I release my fears and trust in the divine path unfolding for me. My inner world is my strength, and I embrace healing, wisdom, and spiritual growth with an open heart. Saturn in the 12th house is not here to keep you stuck in fear or isolation. It's here to teach you how to master your inner world and step into true spiritual wisdom. You are meant to break free from subconscious patterns and karmic cycles. You're meant to cultivate deep inner strength and peace. You are meant to guide, heal, and inspire others through your own transformation. This placement is here to help you embrace solitude without fear, release what no longer serves you, and step into your highest spiritual power. The moment you stop resisting and start trusting your inner wisdom, Saturn will reward you with clarity, peace, and deep fulfillment. If this resonated, drop a comment and let me know. And be sure to like, share this with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more. And if this really hit home, imagine what it would feel like to have real clarity on your patterns, your purpose, and your next steps. So be sure to check out my offerings below. I'd love to help you tap into your power. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for watching.